Power doesn't always arrive with tanks in the streets. Sometimes it comes wearing a suit, holding a rule book, and promising order in a broken world. Singapore's rise is one of the most uncomfortable success stories in modern history, because it forces us to ask a dangerous question right away. What if strict control actually works? This tiny island didn't stumble into success. It clawed its way there through chaos, fear, and iron discipline, forged in the long shadow of World War II. And what emerged is often called the world's most successful dictatorship. Not because it crushed its people into silence, but because it bent society into a machine that rarely breaks. How did that happen, and at what cost? The ashes World War II left behind. World War II smashed Southeast Asia like a wrecking ball. When the war ended, Singapore wasn't a miracle. It was a mess. Poverty was everywhere. Crime ruled the streets. Ethnic tension simmered just below the surface. There were no natural resources to sell, no farmland to feed the population, and no safety net waiting to catch them. Worse still, the island had just lost the protection of empire. Suddenly, it was alone. No army worth mentioning, no strategic depth, no second chances. Most countries in that position collapse. Singapore didn't. It hardened. The leadership made a choice early, and it was ruthless in its clarity. Stability would come before democracy, discipline before dissent, survival before comfort. Laws came down hard. Crime was punished swiftly. Corruption was hunted like a disease. Political opposition was tightly controlled. The press was monitored. Protests were discouraged. The message was clear. Chaos would not be tolerated because chaos had nearly destroyed them already. A government that feared corruption more than rebellion. One of the defining features of Singapore's system was an obsession with clean governance. Corruption wasn't just illegal, it was social poison. Officials were paid extremely high salaries to remove temptation. Bribes weren't quietly ignored. They were crushed publicly. This created something rare: trust in the system. People may not have had unlimited freedom of speech, but they knew the rules applied to everyone. That consistency is why many citizens accepted tight control. The trade was simple. You give up some freedom. You gain safety, opportunity, and predictability. For many, it felt like a fair deal. Building a nation like a corporation. Singapore was run less like a country and more like a precision-engineered company. Long-term planning replaced emotional politics. Education was redesigned to serve economic goals. Housing was mass-produced but tightly regulated, ensuring most citizens owned homes while avoiding slums. Foreign investment was welcomed aggressively. Companies were promised stability, efficiency, and zero tolerance for corruption. In return, jobs flooded in. This wasn't luck. It was, deliberate design. The leadership didn't wait for markets to solve problems. They shaped markets. They didn't hope society would improve itself. They engineered it. Singapore confuses outsiders because it doesn't fit neat categories. People vote, courts exist, businesses thrive. Daily life feels normal, even prosperous, yet certain lines cannot be crossed. Speech that threatens social harmony is restricted. Political activism is carefully monitored. Media criticism of leadership has limits. This is where the dictatorship label comes in. Power is centralized. Opposition is weak. The ruling system dominates nearly every institution. But unlike many dictatorships, the goal was never personal luxury or endless repression. The goal was control in service of growth. That difference matters. Fear played a role, even if it wasn't always visible. There was, fear of instability, fear of racial violence, and, honestly, fear of becoming irrelevant. That fear justified strong measures, harsh punishments for crime, strict social rules, heavy surveillance. Even personal behavior became regulated, from public cleanliness to civic conduct. The idea was simple. Small disorder leads to big collapse. World War II taught them that lesson, and well, it did so brutally. Economic results that, silence critics. Within just a few decades, Singapore transformed into one of the richest places on Earth. Life expectancy soared. Education rankings climbed. Infrastructure rivaled global superpowers. Unemployment dropped. Poverty shrank. Crime, it remained low. Critics argue freedom was the price, Supporters, on the other hand, argue survival was the reward. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Many citizens openly support the system, not out of fear, but because, it delivered results that democracies often struggle to produce. But, you see, perfection has cracks. Creativity can suffocate under strict rules. Political renewal slows when opposition is weak. Self-censorship, it becomes a habit. And younger generations, they start to question whether safety is really worth all that constraint. A system built on control must constantly justify itself through performance. If growth stalls, legitimacy weakens. That's the long-term risk. Not rebellion, stagnation. Singapore's model is being studied everywhere, especially in a world shaken by crises, wars, and instability. Governments quietly ask whether freedom-first systems are too slow, too messy, too divided to survive future shocks. Singapore offers a chilling alternative. Efficiency over expression. Unity over debate, results over ideals. It forces us to confront a question history keeps asking. Is freedom the goal, or is survival? So, final thoughts from the storm front. Singapore didn't just stumble into being called the world's most successful dictatorship. It really earned that title through discipline forged in the aftermath of World War II, relentless planning, and, a willingness to make hard choices that others just avoided. Whether you admire it or fear it, honestly, it depends on what you value more. Liberty or order? Voice or stability? History doesn't give us easy answers. It gives us consequences. And that's exactly why stories like this matter. If you want more deep dives into the scars history leaves behind, the choices that shape nations, and the uncomfortable truths buried beneath global conflicts, make sure you subscribe to The Scars of a Global Stormfronts. Share this video, keep the conversation alive, and, stay sharp. History isn't finished with us yet.